How's it going, guys? Vapav here and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we're talking about Huawei. I've had the chance to use pretty much every single Huawei smartphone flagship since the P9 all the way up to the P40 Pro series, which I'm currently reviewing. So if you want to watch those kind of videos, camera comparisons, all of that stuff, go and check out the other channel where I make videos called GN Tech. If you're also interested in buying some domains, I have got some linked down in the description if you're interested. But we're talking about Huawei's ethical practices when it comes to photography. So we all know Huawei smartphones in general have very good cameras, and that was a very obvious thing to note ever since the Huawei P9, but it started to get a bit of a backlash when the Huawei P9's camera samples were actually taken from a DSLR. But back in the day in 2016, we sort of forgave the company because it was new, it was just getting established, and it was just being mentioned with the likes of Apple and Samsung. And ever since then, there have been few instances where Huawei has once again repeated that mistake, but they've also sort of rectified the mistake and they've also introduced this new competition. So this competition in general is what sparked this video idea, and they've got this thing running where people can showcase their images taken from Huawei smartphones. Now this is a great thing, and when they teased the 2020 competition, everything seemed pretty much normal. They're going through pretty much all the smartphone images taken from a smartphone, I hope, and they're basically teasing their 2020 competition. So if you go ahead and click to the end, they've got the watermark for the 2020 competition, which is all well and good. Now I can't really translate this, but a user on Weibo by the name of Jamie Hua actually translated this. So when he first saw this video, he thought that the images that were used in the video looked very similar because he himself is a landscape photographer. So he searched and found out that the EXIF information, which is information stored in a photo that gives you things like when this photo was taken, by what device, etc., actually pointed to the fact that this was taken by a Nikon D850 camera and not the Huawei P40 series of smartphones. Now, the video actually goes to claim that this was taken from a Huawei mobile phone, so that's pretty much an unethical practice and it's inexcusable in a way. So he goes out and points the various images that were actually taken by the DSLR, and you can go ahead and check out this website for yourself. I'll have it linked down in the description below, but he's basically got all of these samples. Now ever since then, Huawei has actually apologized that yes, they've made a mistake, and the mistake was on the editor's part, and for further videos they're actually going to be more meticulous and conscientious of like sort of what information to pass. But I think this is a mistake too many, because they've always had this where they've been faking pictures from their smartphones, and I don't see why they have to do it, because in general Huawei smartphones do have a great camera. If you compare the Huawei P40 Pro's camera to pretty much every other flagship smartphone out there right now, the Huawei P40 Pro's camera actually beats it. Like as far as still images goes and as far as night mode goes, Huawei's cameras are the best. Like have a look at this photo that I took with the supermoon day, where I took a photo with the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, the Oppo Find X2 Pro and the Huawei P40 Pro, and the Huawei P40 Pro just absolutely nails this moonshot where the other smartphones don't even get close. I don't even gonna get started on the Apple iPhone because that's a league below all the other smartphones, but you get what I'm saying. Like Huawei doesn't really need to market their phones in such a way, and when they've already got this negative backlash of them not being able to support Google Play services, and now this negative news, it impacts the company in a very, very bad manner. And sort of all the people who still supported Huawei despite not having Google Play services might not be encouraged to do so anymore, and I think that's a big thing. I mean, Huawei needs to keep in mind that Huawei has a very loyal consumer base, but that loyal consumer base can easily switch to any other smartphone as far as they're not in China. I'm still pretty certain that Chinese people like Huawei smartphones, but I'm talking about a more international audience. So I don't think Huawei needs to repeat these mistakes, and this could be a one-off mistake once again, but I just don't want to see Huawei do this over and over again, because this sort of happens every single year, and I'm tired of Huawei doing it when their actual smartphone camera quality is just really good. They don't really need to fake their smartphone images in general, and they can compete with the likes of pretty much any other flagship smartphone. Now, if they want to market their smartphone to be a DSLR substitute, I think they're getting that wrong. I don't think their smartphone camera is quite ready yet. It might be in a few years, but not yet, so I don't think that parallel makes sense. But as far as flagship smartphones go, if Huawei didn't have this Google Play service issue, I think it would probably be making one of the best flagship smartphones out there. But I think that about sums up this mini rant, you would say. I'm really tired of Huawei doing this over and over every single year. I do have very much a big respect for Huawei because they broke through pretty much every other barrier. They are within the likes of the Apple ecosystem and the Samsung ecosystem, even Google. They have this strong presence, and by doing this over and over again, they're sort of ruining their credibility. But let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Does this sort of make your impression of Huawei even worse? Are you still going to buy Huawei smartphones in general in 2020? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know your general thoughts about companies doing this. Do you think other companies do it as well, or do you think other companies are more ethically versed? That's about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. This was Vaibhav, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.